Hello class, today we're going to be going over how to create a line graph using Microsoft Excel. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a table or create a table using an experiment like our jumping jack competition, and you're going to want to label your two variables. Now in this case we have our time in seconds right here in cell 1A, and in cell 1B we have jumper 1. So right here we have all of the intervals of when we counted the number of jumps, and over here we have the number of jumps that person took. So once I have all my information correctly labeled, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight everything that has the information that I need, and I'm going to make sure that I don't have any extra and I don't have any missing information, or else our graph is going to be a little bit odd. So once I highlight this graph, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Charts right up here. I'm going to go to Scatter and Straight Marked Scatter. And so this will create a very simple graph for us. And if you notice, there are a couple of things missing from our graph. Mainly, our title's not correct, and our X and Y axis are not labeled. So what we're going to be doing is putting in those labels so that someone reading our graph can tell exactly what's going on. So what I'm going to be doing is from Charts, I'm going to go to Chart Layout, and I'm going to go to Chart Title. And right now my title is already above my chart, which is what I want, but if it isn't above your chart when you begin, you can find it right here. And I'm going to rename this Jumping Competition. Now I still need to label the amount of time that's going by. And whenever you're creating one of these charts, whatever you put in the first column is going to be your x-axis, your horizontal axis. So I know this is representing time because it says right here. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going again to Chart Layout, Axis Titles, Horizontal Axis, and Title Below Axis. And I need to make sure I put time in seconds. I need to be very specific about time. And for the y-axis, my vertical axis, what I'll be doing is I'll be going to vertical axis, and I'll be selecting horizontal title, and I'll be putting number of jumps. Now I would suggest to you that whenever you create your graph, try to make it as big as possible. That way you'll see a little bit more details. And let's say you're comparing two different items. For example, here I just have one jumper and I'm charting their progression throughout the competition. If I want, I can add another jumper. I'm just going to paste in the other information, and I can create a second graph that compares the two jumpers. So I'm going to slide this over here, and I'll be going to Charts, Scatter, and Straight Marked Scatter. And now I'm comparing two different jumpers, so I can actually compare the first and second jumper to one another. And again, if I need to change the titles, I'll be going to Title Chart, Jumping Competition, and for the axes, I'll be changing those to time in seconds, and for the vertical axis, it'll still be number of jumps.